What if the chaos you see in one country isn't just random? What if it's actually part of a much, much bigger, hidden global power play? Well, today we're going to break down a pretty viral narrative from a channel called Hakikat TV that claims exactly that. And they put Iran right at the center of what they say is a looming global crisis.
Okay, so the video kicks things off with this really stark declaration. It frames the whole situation as the absolute worst it's been in over 4 decades. Talk about a powerful opening, right? It's designed to grab your attention from the get-go. So let's unpack how they build this case, starting right there on the ground.
All right, so to really get to the heart of their argument, we first have to look at the picture they paint of the chaos happening inside Iran itself.
So the picture they're painting is of a society that's basically on the verge of collapse. They claim all the basic systems are breaking down. We're talking nationwide internet blackouts, ATMs and debit cards just not working, and huge cash shortages that are paralyzing everyday life. And according to this source, while protests had been going on for about 2 weeks, things just exploded in the last 48 hours, with government buildings being set on fire all over the place.
And then the narrative really escalates. It zeroes in on these incredibly symbolic acts of defiance. The video claims the protesters have actually breached and set fire to the compound of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. Now, that detail is absolutely crucial to their story because it reframes the whole thing. This isn't just a general protest anymore. It's being presented as a direct, personal assault on the regime's highest authority.
But right after setting this scene of a full-blown internal revolt, the video does a complete pivot. It starts suggesting that this chaos, well, it isn't spontaneous at all. This is where they introduce a theory of foreign intervention, and they have a name for it, Plan B.
So, the big question the video wants you to ask is this. Is this a real, genuine grassroots movement, or is it being pulled and pushed by someone from the outside? The narrative they build is that when the first wave of protests didn't manage to topple the regime, a new, way more aggressive phase got kicked into gear.
And that is what the video calls Plan B. It's presented as an alleged U.S.-Israeli operation. The claim goes like this. When the protests started to stall, the home addresses of top Iranian officials and military leaders were deliberately leaked. The goal? To turn that general unrest into targeted personal attacks and just create absolute chaos from the inside.
Now, according to the video, this whole alleged foreign intervention thing is made even worse by the Iranian government's own actions. By threatening mass executions, they say the regime has accidentally, or maybe not so accidentally, pushed the protesters into a corner, a real point of no return.
And this creates what the video frames as the ultimate dilemma. Think about it from the protesters' perspective. If they turn back now, they're facing execution. So their only path to survival, as it's presented, is to just keep pushing forward and see this thing through to the very end. It's an absolute life or death struggle.
Okay, so from that intense, on-the-ground situation, the narrative starts to zoom out. It argues that what's happening in Iran isn't some isolated event. Nope. It's the first domino in a much, much bigger regional conflict.
So here's how the video lays out this theory of a coordinated 3-step strategy. Step 1. Destabilize Iran from the inside. Step 2. Give a green light for military action in Lebanon. And then, Step 3, use the massive crisis in Iran as a kind of smokescreen to pull the world's attention away from other places, like Gaza.
So, after laying out that whole regional domino theory, the video zooms out again, even further this time. It frames this entire episode as just one piece of a much larger U.S. campaign for total global dominance.
And to back up this huge claim about American ambition, the video points to this quote, which it attributes to Donald Trump. They use this as the foundation for how they portray U.S. foreign policy. Basically, a unilateral right to go into any country, anywhere in the world to protect its own interests.
And the video offers up other examples to try and bolster this theory. It claims the U.S. is putting pressure on oil companies in Venezuela, that it's trying to acquire Greenland to block Russia and China. Each one of these alleged actions is presented as another piece of a giant global puzzle. And in this puzzle, the events in Iran are just one part of a huge strategy for worldwide control.
The narrative then takes a shot at Western powers for what it calls selective outrage. The argument is pretty straightforward, that principles like democracy and human rights are applied, well, inconsistently. They'll condemn adversaries like Iran and Russia, but at the same time, they allegedly turn a blind eye to similar actions by their allies, or what the video calls their favorite dictators. So you take the internal chaos, you add the alleged foreign plot, you mix in the global power plays, and according to this video, it all brings us to one final and pretty alarming conclusion, that all of this is just a prelude to open war.
The video claims the whole situation is right on a tipping point. U.S. forces are supposedly in position, and a military strike could happen at any second. And it presents only two possible outcomes. Either the Iranian government falls, or if it survives, it immediately launches a massive retaliatory counterattack. And what would be the goal of an attack like that? Well, according to this source, is to destroy 40 to 50 years of Iran's progress in a single day. The main targets? They're underground missile facilities. The whole thing is designed to be a decisive, crippling blow to their military.
So, there you have it. That is the really intricate narrative laid out by Haqiqat TV. You've got internal strife, alleged foreign intervention, and these huge global power politics all crashing together on a single point. It's a compelling story for sure, and an alarming one. And it really leaves us with a critical question, not just about this situation, but about everything we see. When you're watching events unfold around the world, how do you tell the difference between what's really happening and what might be a very carefully crafted influence campaign?